Wanted to talk about the first time I had an encounter with a psychic medium. So my mother passed away. It's gonna be 5 years on July 4th. So this is an anniversary weekend and kind of like a depressingly milestone one, if that's even a thing. So 5 years ago, she passed away on July 4th, and it was approximately 6 months after she passed away that my brother was bought a psychic medium phone call by my mother's sister. So this aunt, technically, she bought my brother this. I we're not close with this aunt at all. She's kind of Fruit Loopy, kind of like fucking around with my brother in the sense of like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you're gonna jump on a call and talk to a guy who talks to dead people. Like, fucked. Like, what, really? My brother gets on the call, and I tell him to put it on speaker, and I sat in the room, and I didn't say anything, and then my world changed. It's 5 years later, and that was the definitive moment that my perspective on afterlife and psychics and spirits and my entire life changed at that moment, because my mom and everybody else in life that had died, people that died, okay, people that died before this moment were dead and gone, dead, okay, and then this happened, and then they were there here, okay, because it's not fucked up. It's actually mind-blowingly amazing that some people can talk to people that have passed away. I was quiet in the room, and the guy was on the phone with my brother, and he asked my brother if he had a tattoo. My brother said no, but my sister does. And at this point, my ears perk up, because I'm like, shit, I just got this tattoo for my mom, it was for my mother. And I'm actually I'm getting goosebumps right now, talking about it, because your sister to know, thank you for the tattoo. And nobody knew I had this tattoo. Nobody knew. It wasn't, firstly, there was no Instagram. It wasn't everything's on social media. I wasn't making videos. I wasn't doing anything. Nobody knew, especially my aunt, who was not even in my life. And this psychic medium dude was in California. Not to mention the fact that this psychic dude doesn't even know I'm in the room. So my brother's like, yeah, my sister does, and the guy's like, she says thank you for the tattoo. And then he goes, does it have to do with stars? Are there stars involved? And here's another thing. The tattoo for my mom has nothing to do with stars, except for one thing. The tattoo for my mom's on the inside of my leg, and on the outside of my leg I have 5 stars. And it's you would literally have to know, that. Nobody would know that. I'm getting a little emotional listening and not knowing how to react. Nobody's in the room. This guy's not in the room with you. He's not playing off your emotions. If he really wanted to do some investigative research, he wouldn't have been able to find my tattoo. He had laughed and said, she keeps saying, who's Tom, or she keeps saying the name Tommy, who's Tommy? And again, I didn't say anything. My jaw kind of dropped a little bit, and I was like, holy shit. That morning, I was doing every morning at that time, I was spraying her Tommy Girl perfume, and I still have her perfume sitting right on the shirt she was wearing the night that she overdosed. I still keep the perfume with the shirt. It's a scrub top and a little jewelry box. And every day at that time, I was spraying this Tommy Girl perfume. So I was like, holy shit. Is that this was a moment in my life that dead people went from just dying to being alive. Not alive, but their spirit alive. They're there, they're listening, they're watching you. I thought it was a crock of shit. I honestly did. And to be completely honest, that wasn't the last time I dealt with that. That was just the beginning. It made me feel better. And even if, by the off chance, whatever psychic that you are talking to or I'm talking to, if they completely run your background check and stalk you on everything and they find out all this shit and they still blow your mind, then it is worth it to make yourself feel better that these people didn't just pass away, but like they're there and they're around you. And I've had proof after proof after proof. Like, I've had proof after proof after proof of things that have happened. And I see my frustration in the pages now from 5 years ago, because I'm very angry. Like, why can't I hear my mom? Why do you get to hear and I can't? Like, I don't understand. How does she know this stuff? How does she know? How does she know? but I can't talk to her. I don't understand. And I'm reading it, and it's like the tipping point from like accepting the fact and like arguing it. I accepted that your loved ones and the people that passed away are still around and they're still there. And you yourself get to choose whether or not you want to be open-minded to the signs. Whether you want to be open-minded to take the first step and to go talk to a psychic. And even 5 years later, after that moment when I had my first experience with a medium, though, I had experiences alone, things happening around me. But that was my first experience with a medium. And people can talk shit all they want about mediums, but guess what? They're the lucky ones. Maybe it's a blessing and a curse. I don't know. I don't know what it's like to talk to dead people. I don't. Like, I know my mom can hear me. Okay, so my advice, if you're thinking about going to see a medium, is to do your research. Now, this is kind of hard for me to like gauge, because the first time, as I was just speaking about, was literally thrown in my lap, and I don't know who that guy was on the phone. I'll recommend two for you right now. The first one, who I actually think was that guy on the phone, I have no idea if that's true or not. His name is Bill Phillips, okay? The first time I saw him was in a group reading that I just so happened to see. There was a medium performing at this club, and this guy was, his name, go to his website, billphillips.com. His charisma and his charm that I got as vibes, I'm getting goosebumps again, off his group reading. Like, I stayed quiet. Like, I didn't raise my hand for anything. I didn't want to be involved in anything. I was just observing, and I observed him. The way he was interacting with the crowd was very charismatic and very, like, to the point. Like, he would say something like, I'm getting a name that starts with an M, and a guy would raise his hand, and he would immediately look at him, and he'd be like, no, not you, and he'd move on to the next one. And the way that he could just point blank be like, nope, it's not you, nope, it's not you, nope, what's so-and-so's name? Yeah, no, it's not you. The fact that he was so quick, and he moved around with such ease and such confidence, and I like, literally, you could see my goosebumps again, because I can't tell you the words. He was so captivating in a group reading that I decided to go to his website and book a personal reading. There was a 6-month waiting list at the time, and I'm not going to get into my conversation I had with him until I get to that part in my book, I guess, but I highly recommend him. He's legit. And then the other psychic medium that I had a reading with was Kim Russo. She is on the Lifetime channel, I want to say. She does celebrity hauntings, and she had tried to have a show. I don't know if it continued. It's called Psychic Intervention. My family was on that after my mom passed away, and she's actually legit too. She's probably going to be a little bit harder to get a reading with, because she's like on national TV and all that jazz, but I'm telling you, being on a reality show, and I can make a video like that maybe if I get around to it, but a lot of things are scripted in the sense of like where you're gonna be, what the topic's kind of gonna be about. But when the reading goes on, like that's all just boom thrown at you. So there were a lot of things that I told producers, a lot. And at this point, like, there's a lot of things on social media, but there were a couple things that I know were not on social that not one fucking soul on this planet knew. And Kim Russo sniped it. And she actually sniped it on camera. And I couldn't even believe that I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. So definitely recommend Kim Russo. I definitely recommend Bill Phillips. And those are my experiences with the mediums that I could tell you are legit. If you can go to a group reading and just like chill and like take the vibes of the person, where you don't have to feel the pressure of, you know, like all the pressure's on you, I highly recommend doing a group reading. Mediums put my mind at ease in dealing with my mom passing away. I'm just happier. And now I don't need mediums to like get by. I don't need the validation through other people. Now I'm like open to it and I see it around me. And I get it directly from my mother. I can't tell you what she says by any means. Fuck no. It's almost like we have our own secret language. So it's like I can understand it. I can't tell you if she's trying to tell you something. No. But the fact that I'm open now, pretty sick. So if you're thinking about going to see a medium, and if your heart hurts, go do it. If you're thinking about it, do your research and go for it, because you're gonna feel a lot better. Because what other choice you have, really? You'll feel better. Honestly, you'll feel better. So good luck, and oh my god, that's all I gotta say. We're done.